Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Johnson versus Walters.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Mr. Johnson, you admit you engaged in a sexual relationship with the defendant while you were traveling for work, but deny her claims that you fathered her 2-year-old daughter, Amir, because you say Ms. Walters is a shady manipulator. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Walters, you say you are fed up with Mr. Johnson's paternity denial and want him to step up to the plate when you prove to him that Amir is his daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, why did you question Ms. Walters' character from the moment you met her?
Because things were shady from the first day when I met her. I mean, I met her back in 2015, November, and I was just out of town, just looking to have some fun. And probably three days later, we met, and we ended up sleeping together. So
how did you meet?
We met over a dating app. Yes, ma'am.
So you were on a dating app?
Yes, ma'am.
So you took her out to dinner? What happened?
No, I ain't take her out to dinner. One day I told her I was going on lunch, and we ended up going back to the room, and her wedding ring fell out of her pocket. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I was taking her jeans off, and her wedding ring fell out of her pocket.
He lying. That's not.
Nah.
So wait a minute. You meet on a dating site, you talk, you all decide to meet up at lunch. You meet up at lunch, you all decide to have sex while you taking her jeans off.
Yes, ma'am. And I left it on. I left it on the
Ms. Walters,
nightstand.
you had your wedding ring in your pocket?
The particular day that he's talking about, my wedding ring did not fall out of my pocket. The day that my wedding ring came about, it was me and two of my friends, well, one of my friends, I brung over for his friend. And I had my wedding ring in my pocket, and I pulled it out and put it back on. And he was like, what is that?
Exactly.
So you met on a dating site, but you didn't have any idea she was married?
No. It still says she's single on the dating site. On the same dating site. And she was on there 7 days ago.
You got all the receipts, huh?
I got all of it. All of it. Every screenshot.
Was Mr. Johnson the only man you were dating at this time?
Nope. Because every time I was in the car with her, she was telling me to hush up while she was on the phone with another dude.
Wait a minute. I want to hear more about this. What happened?
What happened? I just sat there. I was chilling.
Phone rings. You're in the car.
The phone rings. I'm cool. I'm chilling. Because the whole time I'm married too. See, that's what she didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I had a whole girlfriend.
And a whole girlfriend?
I'm married and got a girlfriend.
Oh. Where they do that?
In Memphis.
Lots of places.
Yeah, I guess.
That's why they end up in paternity court. So anyway, so she gets a phone call in the car. What do you hear her saying?
She talking to folks, you know what I'm saying? She getting money from folks and stuff. That's why, you know what I'm saying, when she hit me up talking about sending money for the child and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not finna send you no money, and I know what I already know what's up. I already know what's up with you.
What do you know?
I know what's up.
So you're...
She getting money from another dude and spending and messing with me with it. So why would I give you some
So when you're
money?
sitting in the car and the phone rings, you just sit quietly?
Yes. Yep, sit
But at
quietly.
the time, Your Honor,
Wait, so you sit quietly or she tells you to be quiet?
She'd be like, shh. I'd be like, okay.
That's how she...
The only time I ever told him to be quiet, Your Honor, the incident that he's talking about, I got money from someone. He was calling to see where I wanted to meet. I couldn't meet him when he wanted to meet because at
Where
the
the
time
hell
I was
did
with
money go?
Mr. Johnson.
To me.
All right, so
You in
Mr.
court.
Johnson, tell me how you found out Ms. Walters was pregnant.
She called me or whatever, and she said she was pregnant. I told her congratulations, and she was like, I'm telling you, cause it might be yours. I'm like, what? Cause I bought a box of condoms as soon as I got to the city. You know what I'm saying?
So you're
But that
saying
don't mean
it was
we used
protected
them.
sex for you because you had already decided you
yeah,
were
cause
going.
I had a whole girlfriend and a wife. Why would I not use protection? You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping with my girlfriend unprotected. Why would I be sleeping with you? You know? Why would I be sleeping with you?
Why would you be sleeping with her if you got a girlfriend and a wife?
Oh, yeah. Cause that relationship was about over with.
All right, so you
Right
knew
over.
you had condoms. You had come prepared to have protected sex. And it is your recollection and your testimony today, you had protected sex with Ms. Walters.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when she calls you to say, I'm pregnant, your response is, congratulations. And then, Ms. Walters, do you say to him, okay, but this could be your child?
Yes, Your Honor. I called Mr. Johnson after I spoke with my ex, and I let both of them know, like, hey, I messed with both of y'all around the same time. I'm pregnant. I'm not telling you that you're my child father, but I'm telling you that it's a possibility.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I never lied to Mr. Johnson. I was 100% honest with Mr. Johnson about the whole situation. I never told him, like, hey, I'm 100% sure this is your kid or anything of that nature. I just told him to be honest because I didn't want to go 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years down the line and then be like, oh, yeah, well, here you go, Mr. Johnson. You got a kid by me here in Arkansas that I never told you about.
So you decided to be honest.
Yes, ma'am.
But he said it's not my child.
No, he said, congratulations. And then I said, congratulations, like as if asking a question.
Oh.
And he said that, are you for sure, you know, that it was just me and him? And I told him yes. And then
No.
he said we would go from there.
And that was that.
Yes, Your
From
Honor.
that point on, what happens during the pregnancy? Does he go with you to any doctor's appointments? Was he at the birth?
No, he stays in another state than I stay, but he did contact me a few times, Your Honor, in regards to my pregnancy. When I informed him that I was giving birth, he asked me to send him pictures after I gave birth, and that was that.
Mr. Johnson gets the pictures.
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you think when you get the pictures? Are you getting the pictures to see, does this baby look like me?
I thought about it. I mean, yeah, I thought about it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
she's
thought
a
about it,
beautiful
of
little
course.
girl. So when you saw her pictures, what did you think?
Like I said, I thought about it. I stared even hard, but same time, she like a whole nother dude that she was messing with probably like the same time.
Your Honor, he's
Around the
lying.
same time.
He's lying.
Yep.
Initially, when my daughter was born, she didn't look like nobody. She was born early, for one, and well, she wasn't born technically early, but she was only 3 pounds and 8 ounces when she was born, so she was really small. So she didn't look like nobody. She looked really swollen and really wrinkly. So, I mean, I can't say that she looked like me. She didn't look like him. She didn't look like nobody. She
Y'all ain't
looked
got
like
that picture
a
of the other dude that I'm talking about? It's the other
What
dude.
other dude?
The whole dude you, man, 3 years ago.
Okay,
3 years ago.
Okay,
Dang,
my
y'all ain't got
daughter's
that
only
picture?
2, so what does a picture of a guy from 3 years ago have
Who
to do
is
with
this
anything?
other guy he's talking about? Who is this other guy he's talking about?
Well, I was dating
Some dude
this
she ain't
guy.
messing with no more.
I was dating this guy in the summer of 2014.
How dude
And
call
Mr. Johnson went digging in old Facebook photos and screenshotting
Sure
old
did.
pictures of old guys. At the end of the day,
Okay, Ms. Walters.
Oh.
Yes, Your
Let
Honor.
me ask you this.
No.
Why are you so convinced Mr. Johnson is the father if there was another guy?
Because I had a DNA test with that other guy, Your Honor, and it came back that he was excluded.
One other dude.
Oh,
Came back that he was excluded.
One dude.
did you
Husband.
bring evidence
One.
of that?
Yes, sir.
Let
I
me see
did.
that, please.
One.
I could see when I
Thank
went to
you,
the doctor.
Jerome.
When I went
Ms.
to
Walters, so this is evidence of
After the day you
DNA
test
test.
a
somebody else.
DNA test you had with the
Okay.
other guy,
Yes,
where the
Your Honor.
probability of paternity was determined to be 0.00%.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. And around the time when I found out I was pregnant, December 27th. When I went to my follow-up appointment, they put my date of conception as around between December 2nd and December 5th. I was only seeing Mr. Johnson at that time, every single day.
No.
Did we not?
Every single day? No.
I went back and looked at the dates. And on December 5th, we were at my house drinking tequila and partying.
And so you remember the dates specifically.
I remember
And
the
you
dates
know that's the
specifically.
window of time Mr. Johnson was in town on business.
Yes, Your Honor.
But Mr. Johnson, it's your testimony that you did spend time with her that week Did you use protection the entire time?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a no.
Didn't. No, you didn't.
That means no.
No, he did not. We only used protection like the first 3 times we had sex. After that, condoms went out the window.
First 3 times?
Yeah, the first 3 times. When you start spending the night at my house, we were not using condoms. We used condoms like once. But all the other times we did not.
I might have took one off, but no.
If you took one off, then it's a probability
That was
of a
after the
baby.
fact.
Well, first of all, Mr. Johnson, birth control is not 100%.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's one thing. The other thing is you got a wife, a whole girlfriend in your own words, and now a fling. And you run around here taking condoms off. That don't make any sense.
But he called me a manipulator, and I'm shady. Come on now.
Now, I want to hear about Amir, this beautiful little girl. Have you developed a relationship with her at all? I mean, she's 2, so have you started to get to know her? Have you said to yourself, well, if she's my child, I at least want to know her. I want to have a relationship with her. What's happening?
I mean, yes, Your Honor. I reached out, like I said, whatever. I mean, like she said, we live in 2 different states. So I reached out and talked.
But that was
to her.
after I made a long Facebook status about him not reaching out to her. If he felt like that my daughter was not his, why do you feel the need to reach out? Why do you feel the need to text me and say, oh, how's the princess? Or how y'all doing video chatting and all that if you know that this is not your kid?
So you feel like he's accepted Amir, but he's just not stepping up.
Your Honor, he has never one time said Amir is not my child to me. He has never ever said that to me.
I haven't?
You have never said that to me.
Why are we here then?
Wait a minute. Ms. Walters, I want to know, what have you told Amir about her dad? What do you say?
I have not told her nothing, Your Honor. I have a boyfriend that I've been with quite some time, and that's who she calls her dad.
But he could not biologically be her father.
No.
He probably is.
No. I had my baby in 2000.
So what are your hopes, Ms. Walters? What are you hoping for
Dude probably
today?
wouldn't have passed.
That we can just get the results today and get this over with, and hopefully Mr. Johnson step up and start trying to establish a relationship with my daughter. Because even though she has a male role model in her life, she has other siblings that she needs to know.
Mr. Johnson, are you prepared to step up if it is determined that Amir is your biological child?
Of course, I got a son. I ain't got no daughter. Of course. Of course.
And have you prepared yourself? You thought about it. You said, this is my child, I'm gonna do what's right.
Yes, Your Honor.
And why does that seem to make you emotional? What do you feel when you look at the baby?
You know, I want a daughter, but I don't want her like that. I don't want her like that.
You mean like that you've missed out on 2 years of her life and that it happens under an umbrella of a paternity saga that you wanted to be
I don't
in?
want it out of just me just hanging out, kicking it with somebody. I didn't want it like that, but if that's how it goes like that.
And when you look at her, you feel like you've missed a lot of time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I don't want to make you all wait a moment longer. Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Johnson versus Walters, when it comes to 2-year-old Amir Walters, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Johnson, you are not the father. Ms. Walters, Mr. Johnson is not Amir's biological father, so clearly there is a third guy.
The dude that looks just like her.
What?
Just be straight
Do
up.
you know who Amir's biological father is?
Yep.
Well, after
That
Mr.
dude she don't mess
Johnson
with
left,
no
I
more.
did establish another relationship with someone else. So,
And so why didn't you ever testify about that in court today?
because I don't ever recall us ever having sex without a condom or anything like that.
Do you know where this man is?
Yeah.
Yo, bae.
Are you still in touch with
One
him?
you said.
Hold on, Mr. Johnson. You got very serious the moment before I read those results when you thought that baby might be yours.
I mean,
Don't
fellas,
clown
hey, look
now.
at her.
Hold
No,
on.
Look at her. Look
Hold
at
on.
her.
Don't clown now
Look
that
at
she's not. Because at the end of the day, this proceeding is about her and for her because we want her to know. If you need this courtroom to help you figure that out, we're here. And at this point, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. If it's more than one, bring them all at once. Let's get this done.
I showed
No,
something.
no,
Look
no.
him up.
I mean, the more years you wait, the more traumatic it is. Trust me, we do this every day. Do you understand? I wish you all the very best. Court is adjourned.